Hello everyone, it's SpawnPoiint and these are the best new games releasing in April 2026 that you need to know about. Whether you're looking for some sci-fi action, a horror storyline, brutal multiplayer or something totally new and different, I've got you covered. And kicking off April, we've got Pragmata, and I'm not going to lie, this is one that I've been pretty excited about. So it's an action-adventure game where you play as an astronaut called Hugh who meets an android called Diana. You're both stranded on a research station on this moon where the station has basically gone dark. AI systems have taken over, you've got enemies and hostiles everywhere, and between the two of you, you've got to try and escape while figuring out what actually happened here. Now on first impressions, I was getting Death Stranding vibes with the futuristic empty spaces, but the gameplay looks way more interesting. So you control the guy moving around dealing with threats, while Diana is the one on your back hacking systems, opening paths and disabling enemies. I also like that there's clearly a father-daughter type relationship going on, and I'm calling it now, we're going to get way too attached and it's going to have a sad ending. So Pragmata releases on April 17th on PS5, Xbox Series, PC and Switch 2. Next up is Darwin's Paradox. This one's a puzzle platformer game where you play as an octopus. I know, but just hear me out for a second. Essentially, you're this octopus called Darwin that gets pulled out of the ocean and thrown into this industrial setting. There are factories, ships and cargo to navigate around, machines to avoid, and it looks like there are loads of puzzles to complete. It's definitely given me Pixar animation vibes and I love it. Now as you are an octopus, you're not just walking around here. You'll be using your tentacles to climb, grab and swing your way through the levels, sticking to surfaces and swimming through tanks of water. It's also got a stealth-like approach to it where you can hide from enemies and even go full-on camouflage. So yeah, Darwin's Paradox drops on April 2nd on PS5, Xbox Series, PC and Switch 2, and it will definitely be a day one buy for me. And moving on to another sci-fi game this month, we've got Starfield finally coming to the PS5, which I didn't think we would be saying this a couple of years ago. So this is Bethesda's big space RPG, massive open world, loads of planets, factions, quests, and all of that usual Bethesda stuff but in space. You can explore planets, build ships and get lost in it for hours. Now some people loved this, but there are some people it just didn't click with. But I think it's one of those games that you do need to kind of play for yourself just to find out if it's one for you. Now obviously this has already been out on both Xbox and PC for quite a while, so this is not a brand new game as such, but this is the first time that PlayStation players are getting it. But it is going to be launching alongside a brand new update with new guns, tweaks to the game itself, and a new DLC pack. So this is kind of a full version to play straight away. I think if you skipped it before, this is probably the best time to jump in, and it will be on the PS5 on April 7th. Next up is Mouse PI for Hire, which is nothing like we've seen before. So this is a first-person shooter, but it's done in this old-school 1930s cartoon style in a full-on hand-drawn black and white aesthetic. Think Cuphead, but as a shooter. Everything's animated like an old cartoon, but you're running around with guns, taking on enemies, collecting stuff and solving bits of the case as you go. And the fact that this is all hand-drawn is actually insane. I saw a post the other day saying this has got 54,000 individual frames of animation. So you play as a private investigator mouse, which already tells you the tone of this game, and it's got this Norse story running through it. It's a bit of a mix of shooting, exploration and some light puzzle stuff, but I just like how different this looks and feels, plus the voice acting is awesome. See if you recognise who this is.
Find the numbers before they find me.
It's pretty cheap too, coming in at just $30 or £30, and this will be on PS5, Xbox Series, PC and Switch on April 16th. Definitely another day one for me. Okay, and possibly one of the most anticipated games this month is Saros. First off, it's from Housemarque, the same team behind Returnal, and you can kind of feel that straight away. It's got that same sci-fi, slightly eerie vibe, but this time it looks a little bit more story-driven and a bit less, oh you died, better start again. Mainly because the progression does carry over, so you're not starting from scratch every single time. Gameplay-wise, it looks crazy fast and intense, third-person shooting, quick movement, shifting worlds to navigate, and a strong focus on building and upgrading your character and gear over time. Now it's not fully roguelike, more like it's taken that idea and tweaked it a little bit. I also like the fact that it's a brand new IP, which is always great to see. I just hope it lives up to the hype when it launches on April 30th on PS5. Next up, Invincible Versus drops later this month too, and this looks brutal. It's a brand new 3v3 tag fighter set in the Invincible universe, where you get to play as 18 different characters, building a team and swapping characters in mid-fight, rather than just picking one and sticking with them. And damn, this looks like it captures the show so well. It's bloody, the levels are getting smashed up, and it is crazy violent. So no surprise on the game's age rating. Now locally, it's only going to be a single player game, which is a shame, but online you will be able to play with up to 2 mates. Now I would say if you are an Invincible fan or you've been watching the show recently, this is going to be a must play this month. It drops on April 30th on PS5, Xbox Series and PC, and there's a demo out on April 9th if you want to get a feel for it early. And only this week, during the Xbox Partner Preview show, Hades 2 was confirmed to be coming to both the Xbox Series and PC in April. So it looks like the exclusivity window with PC and Switch has finally come to an end. Now this is a roguelike action RPG where you're going after Cronus, the Titan of Time, as he's completely messed up the underworld and taken over. Now this also reviewed incredibly well last year on PC, and I think this looks awesome too. It's running at 120 FPS, so it should be smooth on whatever you play it on. And this is going to be launching on April 14th on PS5, Xbox Series and Game Pass Day 1. And here's one for the horror fans. The Occultist is a first-person narrative horror game where you get to play as a paranormal investigator. And visually speaking, this already looks like a great game. Now I actually watched some gameplay from Hollow a couple of months ago, and honestly, this sold me on it. So you end up on this abandoned island trying to figure out what happened to your dad. It's got that classic setup, isolated location, creepy buildings, things very clearly not quite right. And from what they've shown, is more about exploration and solving puzzles rather than fighting back. But I do like this slow, tense and atmospheric vibe rather than just running around with a gun and getting jump scared everywhere you go. I'm actually pretty excited to play this one on April 8th, and that will be on the PS5, Xbox Series and PC. Then we've got Tides of Tomorrow, the same team behind Road 96. And this is a first-person narrative adventure game set on a flooded planet where everything's gone a little bit wrong. It's a sort of post-apocalyptic setting, but totally different to what we've seen before. I think this could also be the closest that we get to a Waterworld game at this point. So you actually play as a tide walker and you need to explore the ocean planet, visit communities and try to save the planet from this deadly disease. But what's cool is you can choose to follow another player's path that's actually played this game before you. So you can literally see their choices and either follow or do your own thing. Oh man, I can see some serious trolling going on with this. Now this is going to be a single player game, but you will be able to see other players' choices via something called StoryLink. It's a shame it's not going to be multiplayer, but it will drop on April 22nd on PS5, Xbox Series and PC. Now every time I see Replaced, I just kind of stop for a second and think, how good does this game look? So it's actually a side-scrolling platformer with a really cool pixel art style. The lighting, the reflections, the way the city looks, it's a proper Blade Runner vibe, which I love. Now it doesn't even look like a typical indie game either, it feels way bigger than that. So in the game you play as Reach, an AI that's been put into a human body, and is set in an alternative 1980s America that has a slightly dark cyberpunk type feel to it. And it's not just walking around either, there's proper weight behind the combat too. The punches, the finishers, the animations, it all looks super clean. I'm just kind of gutted this is not going to be coming to the PS5, as it will be on Xbox Series and PC on April 14th. Next up is Aphelion. This is a new third-person game from the Life is Strange devs, but don't go in expecting that kind of game, because this is a full-on sci-fi action-adventure. You've crash-landed on this planet as one of 2 astronauts trying to survive and find each other. You're climbing through wreckage, crossing these massive icy landscapes, dealing with limited oxygen and weird anomalies. It also looks like it swaps between the 2 different characters as you play through the story. Wait for a second, thinking about this, we've got quite a few sci-fi games dropping this month. We've got this, Pragmata and Starfield all dropping in April. Perfect if you're into these type of games. Anyway, Aphelion drops on April 28th on PS5, Xbox Series and PC. Then we've got Will Follow the Light, which is a quiet story-driven game following this journey through a really stripped-back world, using your light as a guide. Not in a combat way or anything, more like an exploration and just taking your time with it. And from what we've seen so far, it's a very minimal, very atmospheric kind of game where you're not rushing through the story, you're just kind of taking it all in. I would say if you're looking for something a bit calmer this month, no pressure, no drama, this could be perfect for you. is coming to PS5, Xbox Series and PC on April 28th. And here are a couple of bonus games that didn't make the top 10 today. Thule: The Cosmic Abyss is a new Lovecraft horror game this month, and from what they've shown is more about that slow, unsettling kind of horror rather than just jump scares. This is going to be coming to the PS5, Xbox Series and PC on April 16th. Then we've got Samson, a Tyne Dalston story looks interesting even if the name of the game is a little bit weird. So you play as Samson in the 90s who's got a debt to pay off, and you do this by taking on jobs, getting into street fights and driving around the city. It looks gritty and almost Max Payne with the dark setting and the vibe. The only thing is, I cannot tell if this is going to be a really good game or a complete scam. It's set to release on April 8th on PC and it will be coming to consoles later this year. Okay, well that wraps it up for April 2026. We've got a mixed bag this month, but I'm hoping there is definitely something here for everyone. For me, I'm looking forward to Saros on PS5, Mouse PI for Hire because it's totally different, and Pragmata. But to be fair, it's not a bad month overall. But what about you guys? Is there anything that you're really hyped to play or something that I've missed today? Now drop a nice April games in the comments and I'll give you a thumbs up for staying right till the end. And if you enjoyed today's video, check out my PS5 video next, as it covers 10 reasons that you need one in 2026. Well, thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe and follow me everywhere. Until next time.